Hello everyone, AgroVMX here, and this is a video to talk about the new year and just some minor changes that I'm going to be making to the channel, and also just sort of reflecting on the last year or so here on YouTube. So, as some of you guys may know, I started YouTube a long time ago. I started actually uploading videos back in 2009. And from 2009 till about 2015-ish is when I want to say, that's when I did these videos that you guys may remember. They were request videos. They were videos where you would just ask me, hey, play this game, and I would play it for just a little bit of time. Not a full Let's Play, but just sort of try it out and commentate over it. Usually some extremely cringy commentary from me, because of course I was a different person back then. We all were. If you can look back on 10 plus years and say, yes, that's the same person I want to be now, then well, maybe you need to upgrade your personality a little bit. So, but it was a lot of fun back in the day. But I realized after a while that two things. One is that it was really not that exciting for me to do, and two, that I was going to run out of material after a while. So I started implementing Let's Plays into the channel more and more often. I called them features back then, where I would just play through a whole game. And it occurred to me that that's like a lot more fun. And I know that a lot of people who originally subscribed for that content, where I would just, curse my head off at some random game for 10 minutes and then call it a day. But I didn't really, I came to the point where I got really burned out on that, and I stopped. And of course, that hurts viewership when the thing that people subscribe to you to do is the thing that you no longer do. And that's, that is what it is. I never saw YouTube as like this major thing where I was going to be like really big and I was going to make a lot of money and everything. It was always just sort of like this thing that I did because I enjoyed doing it. For me, if I'm going to sit and play games for a living, that's something that's more on Twitch. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years, is that I've definitely shifted a lot of my focus from YouTube to Twitch. However, I kept the YouTube up, and I got to talk about this because this is important, because motivation has been something that has wavered over times for YouTube. There was once a time when I had a lot of motivation to make a lot of different styles of content. I created series that, a lot of you enjoyed back in the day, such as the Urban Legends series and the Clearing Confusion series. And I stopped doing them, and a lot of people were like, well, those were big winners. They were getting a lot of views. Why would you stop doing them? And it's because I was at a point where I didn't have it in me anymore, it just stops. I definitely got tired of talking about Urban Legends. The videos were they were fun to make for maybe like the first 10, and I made nearly 30 of them. I think I made 27 in the original run, and then I did a 28th later on when I came up with a good idea for one, and that one was kind of fun to make. But at the same time, I have yet to really run into really good video game Urban Legends that would make me want to do a video about them, because so much of it is just, no, that's not true, and there's not really an interesting story behind it. And Clearing Confusion came to the same thing, where it was just like I actually, parlayed that into another series called Gamers Encyclopedia, because I felt that the Clearing Confusion idea was limited, and I wanted to do something a little bit more from a gamer historian and preservationist standpoint. But I did one season of that, and I didn't continue it for mainly two reasons. One, because it was insanely difficult to do. It was a lot of research, and my video editing skills back then were nearly non-existent. I didn't really know what I was doing. I do now, but I just don't want to make that anymore, really. And I realized that, trying to do these comprehensive, videos, like going over an entire series and everything, is all well and good until it's out of date. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I think I mentioned that in the Breath of Fire one, that, hey, they should one day hopefully make a Breath of Fire 6. And they did. since that video, and it was terrible. And I can do an update video talking about, hey, yeah, they did do a Breath of Fire 6, and it was really bad, and it never came out of Japan, and then they killed the series completely and for good, at least so far. And then maybe if they did like a 7th one or a reboot or something, I would have to do another one. And keeping on top of it is difficult. And there was a lot of research involved. And really, it was too stressful. And it was also coming at me at a really bad time in my life when I was very stressed out and very depressed. So it was time to stop. And I lost a lot of motivation. And for a while, I was just sort of coasting along on YouTube and not really putting a whole lot of effort into anything other than just, here's the content, here's the game I'm playing, and I'll just put it up. Recently, as in the past 2 years or so, I've managed to, I think, make the content a lot better. And I think you guys have noticed, because views, that were like this, and then they were like this, and then they were like this, and then they were like this. Now they're more like this. They're not here, but they're here. They're getting a little better. It's trending upwards. Subscribers are trending upwards. And I think that, like, you guys are just, there's a lot of new people watching, and I thank you for that. And there's people that have come over from Twitch and whatnot, and Twitch is still going to be my number one focus. But, over the past 2 years, I've actually considered just like stopping making content for YouTube and focusing solely on Twitch. Only because it was just one less thing to worry about, and that I could use that time and that energy to just put everything into Twitch. However, I elected not to do this because it's nice to be able to create content for you guys where I play a game and not have a live audience sometimes. Like, having a live audience is fantastic. There's nothing quite like it. But sometimes I need to stop and collect my thoughts, and sometimes you need to just do things like grind and whatnot, and not all of it works well with a live audience. Some games I think are better suited for recording ahead of time. For example, my friend June just recently for Christmas got me a copy of a game called Environmental Station Alpha, and June said to me, don't do this one on Twitch, blind. And I said, why? And June, gave me a whole reason, but what it basically boiled down to is June felt that it was not the type of game that one should play for the first time in front of a live audience. That if you're going to get somebody to watch you play the game, you should be better at it, basically. So I'm guessing it's kind of a hard game, and that it might be suited more for YouTube. And I said, do you want me to do it on YouTube? And they said yes. And I said, okay, we'll do it on YouTube. But the main stress has been the upload schedule. I still plan on uploading 2 videos every day. That's not going to change. However, the way that I've gone about it these past few years has come to a head, and I find that it's very stressful, and I'm going to explain why. So for the longest time, I've done 2 styles of games, RPGs and action games, stuff that's not RPGs. And I've uploaded all the RPG content on Mondays and Wednesdays, and all the non-RPG content on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday being stream VODs. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's not going to change. Those days, I'm going to be uploading VODs for my streams. VOD is video on demand, basically a record of the stream. I've been doing that. I'm going to continue to do that. Not every single Twitch stream ever gets made into a VOD and gets it on YouTube, but almost all of them do. That being said, this whole action and RPG thing has been stressful. And basically what it comes down to is it's kind of difficult to juggle games sometimes. So I just always want to just record one game. And sometimes I can get through like one game really quickly, like play it in a weekend, record it, and have weeks of content. As a matter of fact, like at one point not too long ago, I recorded Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I actually, instead of stopping the videos, I just was like, all right, I'm just going to record in one long session and then snip it up later, which was a lot easier for me to do. And that actually worked out really well, because it was just, let me just get through this game, have fun with it, don't have to worry about looking at what time, how long I've been recording. Like right now, I've been recording for 9 minutes and 47 seconds, I could look at that. Another thing that has been a stressor is switching my recording software from Bandicam to Streamlabs. and it was a very good thing to do, but there's just like one caveat. It's so much better because I could have cool layouts. I can upload always in a widescreen format instead of just, having to have just the game window. I can have background art. I can have the game logo. I can have my webcam on there, and basically just do it like a stream, just without the live audience, without the chat, and I think it makes everything look more uniform and looks cooler and everything. The downside is that I can't ever pause the recording. I can stop the recording and then start it up later and splice two videos together, but then I have to worry about, how long do I go and everything, So losing the ability to pause the recording, if Streamlabs added that, I would be really, really grateful for that. Kind of sucks, but everything else about it has been a really good change, going over to Streamlabs OBS instead of Bandicam. That being said, I ran into the problems first when I was recording. This was actually, I want to say last year, but it was 2 years ago. It was 2019. So we're in 2021 now. It's literally New Year's Day as I'm sitting here recording this for another 9 minutes or so. It's the first. The issue was when I recorded the game Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii, which is a really long game, and I wanted to do kind of like a 100% run. And the thing is that there was no way that I can record all of that and still have a decent backlog, because I used to, back in the day, I would record whatever videos that day and then upload them that day. So you were always getting, what I did that day. But there were days that I wanted to record a lot. I would be done with my 2 videos and I would still be like, God, I want to do more. And then there would be days where I didn't even want to do it at all. So I decided to just start recording whenever I wanted to and just build up a backlog, and it has worked out really well for me. I think I've been doing that since 2015 or so. The first time that I did this was with Luffy and the Fortress of Doom, because I was just into recording it, and I was like, why stop at 2 videos? I'll just record more and upload them later. And I wound up getting ahead of myself by several Let's Plays after a while, and then those days where I just wasn't feeling it, I didn't have to worry about anything, So that being said, the issue is when I'm doing like a really long game like Xenoblade Chronicles, I run into that issue where it's 163 parts, and I wind up, and I'm uploading as I'm doing that, and you wind up getting caught up on the action side, so I have to stop the game every now and then to record something else. So like in the middle of Xenoblade Chronicles, I had to stop at several points and be like, okay, let me bang out Batman Arkham Asylum, right? Or let me bang out Bomberman, or, there were a bunch of them of action Let's Plays that were recorded in the midst of Xenoblade Chronicles. And now I'm recording Dragon Quest 7 for the 3DS. And Dragon Quest 7 was obscenely long. It was actually even longer on the PlayStation, but the 3DS version, even though it added content, did make it a little more concise. But at the same time, it's still a really long game, and I've had to stop several times to record other things. And here's the thing, action games are not long. Occasionally I get something like Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2, where I get a whole lot of videos out of it. And because I got like a whole lot of videos out of Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2, I was kind of not worrying about it for a while, and then all of a sudden it was done. And I was like, okay, well, Turok's only 8 parts, and then Castlevania N64 is after that, and that's only 20 parts, and then I'm on nothing left, So I wind up with really long Let's Plays, like Alundra was pretty long, and Dragon Quest 7 is going to be long. And then on the other side of things, they're short sometimes. Sometimes they're 1 or 2 videos. So what I'm going to be doing, the big change that I'm going to be making to YouTube in 2022 is changing my upload schedule, in the sense that it's going to be 1 game at a time. And I'm not going to worry about differentiating between RPGs or non-RPGs. I'm going to play what I want to play. I will play a lot of RPGs, and I will play a lot of action games, because I like all kinds of games. And it's just going to go up in, all 1 game will be uploaded until it's done, and then I'll move on to the next. So the way that's going to work for now is there's actually one last see, it actually worked out because I always stop uploading like around Christmas. I always take like the last week of the year off of uploading YouTube videos because I figured not a lot of people watching YouTube videos around that time, and it gives me a week to just sort of not worry about it, you know. But now that it's 2022 and we're resuming, the way it's going to work, I do have to talk about that. It's going to be really easy to understand. So, you know, thankfully I'm at the end of 2 of the Let's Plays. So Monday, normally I would upload 2 Alundra videos. And then Tuesday, it would be 2 Turok videos. Here's the thing. That's not going to change all that much. Monday, there's going to be 2 Alundra videos. And thankfully, those are actually the last 2 in the series, parts 45 and 46, because I beat it on part 46. So that's it. And then Tuesday, there's actually only 1 Turok video left. So Turok Dinosaur Hunter Part 8 will go up on Tuesday, and then the first part of the next Let's Play will be Brave Fencer Musashi. And I decided on just going by what is the oldest one, what is the one that I recorded the longest period ago. And I was looking at my Let's Play folder, and Brave Fencer Musashi, like if I was to go with the next thing after Turok, right, like in the action thing, it would be Castlevania for the N64, which was recorded in June. But Brave Fencer Musashi was recorded in a period of time from February into March, so it's older. So we're just going to upload all of Brave Fencer Musashi, 2 a day, you know, Mondays through Thursdays until it's done, and then we'll move on to the next thing, which will be Final Fantasy V, you know. So that's what we're going to do. So just to give you an idea, let me actually show you the folder here real quick. I can do that, right? Oh, look, there it is. So this is my Let's Play folder, and, you know, I have it right now differentiated between action and RPG. I also have my RPG, SNES RPG reviews. There is going to be more of those. As a matter of fact, I'll give you guys a little preview that, let's see, I uploaded 7th Saga. Did I upload Breath of Fire? I don't remember. Breath of Fire, and then I got Lufia 2, and then there's more that I got to write and record. But anyway, I stopped doing the randomized Nuzlocke challenges. It's something that I might come back to at some point, but I just stopped doing it because just trying to do the races and everything was getting stressful. And the Binding of Isaac, I'm going to take a little bit of a hiatus on that to build up more videos, because I recorded way too many of those all at once. And then I was like, wow, I got to stop recording these and, you know, catch up a little. And then I was caught up, and I was like, oh shit, and I don't have time to record, and, you know, so, you know, so although that'll resume at some point. But basically, it would, you know, I got Castlevania for N64, I got Dragon Quest Heroes, this one's still ongoing, and Dragon Quest VII is still ongoing, but these were completed, Brave Fencer Musashi and Final Fantasy V. And as you can see, if I go by date, this is pretty much the order that it's going to be, you know, except that Castlevania would be before Dragon Quest VII, because this is completed and that's not. So it's going to be a lot easier to just not worry about, I have to play an action game or I have to play an RPG, and I can just worry about, I have to record. You know what I mean? And it's not that big of a deal then, because, like, for example, I really want to do that environmental, I think it's called Environmental Station Alpha game on Steam. But then I've also wanted to do Soul Blazer, and it's like I've already played Soul Blazer on Twitch, but I wanted to go back to that, and I was thinking of restreaming Soul Blazer and Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma, but I was thinking it would be cooler to do them on YouTube. Even though I did Illusion of Gaia already once on YouTube, it would be cool to do it again. You know, it's just that I don't mind going back and doing stuff that I've done before in terms of playing through a game, especially with like Terranigma, which I did not quite understand the game as well as I could have when I first played through it, you know. So I could use like a walkthrough and get all the stuff that I missed, you know. And that's a lot easier to do. Like, you can't really, it's hard to play with a walkthrough on Twitch. I've done it where I was like, all right, I have to look something up because I just need a walkthrough for this part. And there's no shame in that, by the way. And anyone tells you that there is shame in that, kick that person in the taint, because that's what they deserve. You should not be shamed of playing in a game in a way that you need to play it. But sometimes I've had to look up a map or a walkthrough or whatever, and it's so difficult to manage playing a game, looking at a walkthrough, and looking at a chat at the same time. So I prefer, if I need to use a walkthrough for a game, I would rather do it recording than broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. As for streaming, this is like a state of the YouTube channel, but I also want to give you guys a taste of what's coming up on Twitch, because you guys should visit me on Twitch. I do stream every day. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays I stream during the day from about 12:30 in the afternoon till about 4:30 in the afternoon. Usually, sometimes I go a little later, and that's Eastern time, by the way. And every other night I stream at night, which usually I start around 7:30, maybe a little earlier, Eastern time, and then go till about 10:30 to maybe 11. Recently I did a couple of streams that went later. One was Chasm. I was having so much fun I lost track of time until the Moogle Master said in the chat, "Wow, long stream." And I was like, "What? It's only, oh shit, it's 11:15." And then the Suikoden 2 I was playing, and I was like, "We got to beat this tonight." And I wound up going till midnight, which was rough, by the way. That being said, let me tell you guys about what I'm streaming right now and what you can expect to see soon. And the way that it works with Twitch is that I have a daily schedule, and every day is sort of its own theme. I don't stream one game until it's done, because I think, well, if there's people that are not super interested in that game and they don't want to see that, or maybe they don't want spoilers or whatever, they're not going to show up until it's done. So it's better, I think, to do variety. It can be rough sometimes if you're like, okay, I haven't played this game in a week. Where am I? What am I doing? Sometimes that's rough, but I do think it's the best way to go about things. And it seems you guys agree too, because you guys have been coming out and showing a lot of support for the Twitch channel, and I'm really grateful for that, by the way. But right now, like for example, Sundays is interesting because I started as a Falcom day where I would play all Falcom games, and I'm actually putting a stop to that and transitioning towards making it another day like Saturday is. I know I didn't talk about Saturday, but Saturday is like a day where I play through a whole series of games back to back to back. And I want to do that with Sundays as well. But I'm doing sort of a transition where I'm doing a farewell to Falcom by doing the East series. And I did stream a bunch of East games already for Falcom Sundays. Like I did East Books 1 and 2 on TurboGrafx. I did East 3 on TurboGrafx. I did East 4 on TurboGrafx. And then I did East 4 on Super Famicom, because it's a completely different game. And then I moved on to other things because I was already recording East 5 for YouTube, and I didn't want to like get into the two things stepping on each other too much. But and I moved on to a lot of other games, but I lost my patience with some of these Legend of Heroes games. That Gargov trilogy was just bad, so I was like, let's play through the East games and do like the most modern versions. So right now I'm doing East 3, the Oath and Felghana, the Steam version, which recently got a big update, believe it or not, which added voice acting, which is really interesting. So we're doing that, and I'll be continuing with Memories of Celceta and the Super Nintendo version of East 5, because it's really the only version it can play. Ark of Napishtim, East Origin, East 7, East 8, East 9, and then we're going to probably move on to a different series, which I believe I said it was going to be, I think it was Devil May Cry that I was going to start doing. Monday afternoons, I play fighting games. And right now I've been going through a lot of SNK fighting games. It started as a way for me to relive my childhood playing these games in the arcade, games like Fatal Fury and King of Fighters and World Heroes and all that. Right now we're doing games like, we just finished up The Last Blade 2 and Street Fighter, King of Fighters EX and Game Boy. I'm going to be doing King of Fighters EX 2 and SNK Gals Fighters and a bunch more crazy, wacky games. Like let me bring up my list actually and just give you guys a taste of what's to come. I need my Twitch folder, 1 second. There it is. Okay, so like some examples of Monday fighting games are like the Kizuna Encounter, Waku Waku 7, Double Dragon 6, Matcher Melee, Groove on Fight, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, some crazy stuff, Fighters History. And then, of course, I plan on doing some newer games. Like I'm going to make a return to playing Skullgirls more, and we'll definitely be doing King of Fighters 15 when that drops next month. So that's that. That's Mondays. Tuesdays, which we call Tampon Tuesdays. It's a whole in joke if you want to hear the whole story about why, just come by stream and ask about it. But it's Metroidvania games. And right now we're actually alternating between playing Metroid and other Metroidvanias. So we recently did Metroid. I'm going to be doing Metroid 2 very soon. And of course, I'll be going through just the side-scrolling ones: Metroid, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Fusion, Dread, maybe Dread. We'll see how that goes. I got to emulate it. I've heard it's well emulated, but I'll have to get it all set up and try it. And then of course there's the remakes like Return of Samus and Zero Mission and AM2R as well, which is an unofficial one, but I played it once on stream. I want to play it again. But then I have these other games like Deedlit in the Wonder Labyrinth and The Mummy Demastered is this crazy game that I want to play, and and then there's some like old school ones like the Battle of Olympus and Rygar and whatnot, but a lot of newer ones as well. Metroidvanias, I'm kind of all over the map on that. So that's Tuesdays. Wednesdays is just sort of like my backlog or sort of whatever. I'm about to be starting Final Fantasy Tactics for the PSP. That's like the remake of the PlayStation 1 game. Really amazing game. And then after that, I'm going to be playing, Alan Wake. And then after that, I believe I said Horizon Zero Dawn. We had a poll, and that gave me kind of an idea of what you guys were looking for. Thursday is when I do my Super Nintendo RPGs, and I've been I want to play every RPG on the Super Nintendo. Maybe not beat everyone, but at least play everyone. We've been beating most of them and focusing on the ones that I haven't played before, I haven't beaten before, and kind of like the crazy Japanese ones that have gotten translated. Right now we're doing Sailor Moon: Another Story, which is a really, really, really wacky game. But I have Robotrek planned, I have Secret of Evermore, I have Arcana and Aretha and Cyber Knight and Dark Half and Holy Umbrella and all these crazy games, Spike McFang and Zack and Treasure Hunter G and Energy Breaker and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and all this crazy stuff. So that's what you see, some really wacky stuff Thursday night. And then Fridays is when I redo content that I had already done on YouTube, just to update everything with, better commentary, widescreen, 720p. I could do 1080p, but the file sizes just get so big at that point. I can't handle that, and just better, and doing it on Twitch. And right now we're going to finish Dragon Quest 3 Super Famicom version, and then we're going to, what did I say I was doing after Dragon Quest 3? Hold on, I actually have a scene for it. I don't want to go to that scene. What is it? Oh, I just made the scene for it today. What? Oh, Heretic. The game by Raven Software, the first-person shooter. So we're going to be doing Heretic after that, and then I think Paper Mario after that. And then Saturdays, we're currently running through the Suikoden series, which I've never played, so it's really interesting and really cool. Suikoden 1 and 2, we're done. We basically just started Suikoden 3. As a matter of fact, just a few hours ago, I got done with my second stream of Suikoden 3 for the PlayStation 2. We're going to be doing 4 and 5. And then after that, I think we're going to do the Xeno series, which sucks because I'll have to play Xenogears, which is not my favorite game, but I'll get to play Xenosaga and Xenoblade, so those will be really cool. And you're you've already done Xenoblade, and it's a really long game, but I kind of want to play that Switch version or maybe the 3DS version, depending on which I can emulate better. I know I can do both of them pretty well, but we'll see what takes. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming by to the Twitch streams. Thank you for still watching the YouTube videos, and for the new people that came along. It's a lot of fun. It helps me stay sane and live my life and everything. Helps me pay my bills, I'm not going to lie. And that's it. I just want to let you guys know of this way that I'm changing, uploading things, and just talk about transitioning and going forward and moving into even better content and less stress. That's what's important, right? Less stress. I don't have to worry about things as much, and just going to do things in a little bit more relaxed way for YouTube at least. So I hope to see you on YouTube. I hope to see you on Twitch. You can join my Discord as well. Links in the description. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.